Thank you very much to Gravastar for sponsoring this video by sending me this Bluetooth speaker, but I have to admit the video was not an easy one. Because when we're now talking about Bluetooth speakers like this here or speakers in general, then we're talking about audio quality. But even if I would have the best microphone or the best setup in the world, there's no way that I would be able to record it in the exact same way as I can hear it. But just assume for a moment I have the best microphone and the best setup in the world. The next question is then, on what device are you actually listening to my video? So you can see there's literally no way that I can show you the audio quality from this Bluetooth speaker. And when it comes to speaker, or when it comes to buying speakers, then a general rule is you have to try the speakers at your place, in the room where you like to have the speakers installed. And the same counts for something like that, because this sounds completely different in a big store than in your room. But of course we're going to talk about the audio quality from this Bluetooth speaker in this video. But before we do this, let's have a look in the box. Let's talk about the accessories when you buy this speaker. I mean, obviously you get the speaker itself, but let's talk about cables, what we get here. And let's start with the charging cable, which is, as always, not long enough in my opinion. I mean, at least we're getting a 90-degree plug because the charging port is actually on the bottom from the speaker, but I don't like the length. It's not enough in my opinion. And the worst part, and this is not just with this speaker, as always, you're not getting a USB charging adapter. The next thing what we're getting is a 3.5mm to USB cable for devices. They are not supporting Bluetooth, and this is actually great because I tried this with my old Walkman and it's just working perfectly. And this time, the length is more than enough. And then of course we have the manual with all the instructions and all your answers to your questions for this product in more than enough languages. Okay, so let's talk about build quality. Let's not focus too much on design because design is always a personal opinion. I personally like the design, but I would like to have a different one. If I would buy one, I would maybe go for the orange one or yellowish one, but there are so many different designs and they're looking actually great. But let's focus on build quality because this is the most important part. And I'm actually very impressed with the build quality. There is no problem at all, and this is all proper material, and the weight is around 1.3 kilogram for this little speaker. This is actually very heavy, so it's not that easy that you can carry this around in your backpack all the time because it is actually really quite heavy. But I like it because there is one very important quality, how should I say, one quality for a good speaker is weight, because the heavier a speaker is, in most of the cases, the better the sound. If you have a very sturdy design on a speaker like this here, that means quality, because the sturdier the design, the less vibrations or disturbing noises from the case itself. This is proper quality, because if this would be very cheap plastic, then you would have a lot of vibrations and a lot of disturbing noises actually all the time. I mean, there's a reason why those floor speakers are around 30 kilogram each. It's just proper quality, and this is what I like. Pairing the Bluetooth speaker to any mobile device was no issue at all. Not on my Samsung S9 Plus, not on the S21 Plus, and also not on the mobile phones from my wife. So it is just quite simple as with any other Bluetooth device, just connected. And I like to say I never had any problems with the connection to this Bluetooth speaker at all. As long as I was within the range, which is usually in the same room, the speaker was working flawless. Changing the volume on the Mars Pro is quite easy. You can either use the touch button on top of the system, or as always you can also use your mobile phone. And again, this is very loud now, but there's no disturbing noise from the case at all. This is pure quality. One of the best features in my opinion from this speaker is the very low audio delay, because there is almost none. Almost none. I mean, we still have some delay because we're talking about Bluetooth, but thanks to Bluetooth 5.0, really almost none. When I'm comparing this to my very expensive Bose QC35-2, then this one is so much better. Watching a movie with these headphones is no fun. And I'm not just talking about gameplay changes and new features, it really feels like the world is getting more realistic with every patch, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, I don't want to talk about gameplay today in this video. I like to focus on HDR because and then we have our LED lights, which are making this very special because it does look great, especially in a very dark room. And of course you have different functions with the LEDs as well. You have the always on mode where you can change the colors from the LED as you like it. And you have a mode called breathing gradient mode. And then you have a mode called music beat mode. Okay, so let's talk about the audio quality from this Bluetooth speaker, the Mars Pro. And I told you already, it's impossible actually to record the sound quality and deliver it to you in the same quality or in the same way as I can hear it with my own ears. So that's why I'm not doing it, okay? What I like to do is I like to compare it with some devices what I own. Okay, so let's start with my most favorite headphones what I own, and this I'm using this daily actually. Absolutely. In the morning when I'm getting up to listening to a little bit music, or in the afternoon, whatever, this is daily in use. That's why I just a couple of months ago, I think I changed the earpads here. Anyway, in terms of sound quality, this is just amazing. But I told you already, in terms of audio delay, they are terrible. So watching movies on these headphones, it's not a good thing. And even you do phone calls or whatever, or Zoom or Skype or whatever with these headphones, I'm not happy actually because of the audio delay. In terms of sound quality, when we really just talking about sound quality, the headphones are so much better than the Gravestar Mars Pro, but it's a little bit unfair as well. I mean, we're talking about headphones which are sitting on your ears. Actually, we have noise cancellation here, noise reduction, which is wow, just great. It's a little bit unfair, but just to get you an idea what we're talking about in terms of sound quality, I never had any better headphones. Compared to this one, the sound is not as good as with the headphones. But again, I told you it's not really fair to compare this, which is a open stand speaker, whatever you want to call this, with headphones, but that's the only way I can do it. Let's talk about these little speakers because I think it's more interesting and more fair actually compared to this one here. Anyway, this is, well, those two speakers are part from the Logitech Z906 system, which I bought a couple of years ago. And if you watched my very first videos, then you can actually see it in my videos, because in my other room there was no space for the floor speakers. Anyway, I bought this back then for a very, very good price, for a ridiculous good price for the system. Compared to this price, of course, it's still a little bit more expensive, but I mean, you get a 5.1 system and actually a subwoofer. When it comes to the sound quality, on the other hand, I don't like these satellite speakers at all. Because you always have the feeling that there's something missing in terms of sound, in terms of frequency. And this is the biggest problem from those little satellite speakers, because the driver here is actually all in one. Okay, from your low end, okay, there's no low end really, but from your middle tones to the high tones, everything is included in one driver, which is, it's a design decision because there's not much space, but it's a very poor decision actually when it comes to sound design. This, on the other hand, sounds much better because you have your bass driver here actually on the back here, and also you have, and this is very hard to see, you have your mid-tone and also the high-tone drivers here on the front, which of course is a better solution than this one. The sound from the Gravestar Mars Pro compared to the Logitech Z906 is much better. But just when we're talking about mid and high tones, because when we're talking about bass, then because you have a subwoofer here, with the Logitech system, the bass and the low end tones are better than on the Mars Pro. But I mean, compare the size from this little speaker with the subwoofer and you know why. Size matter at the end, okay? But overall, I would prefer this over this any day. So what is my conclusion now? What is my summary for the Gravestar Mars Pro? Would I buy this for myself? Most likely not. Would I consider this for a present for my 10-year-old son? Absolutely, because he will love it. And this is the point. So I'm not the target group for this one, because I just don't need it, okay? I would not have any, I just don't need it. That's how it is. But there are a million other people, they like to have this. Like my son, he is crazy about this, okay? But he's not getting it because that's how it is. Anyway, this is not a bad Bluetooth speaker. I love the very low audio delay. Compared to my headphones, compared to any other Bluetooth device what I have, this is superb because there's almost zero audio delay, almost zero. The next thing what you get for your money is a very good build quality, very good. And I can just repeat myself, a sturdy case for a speaker is very, very important, because the better the case, the heavier the whole speaker, the better the sound, believe me. And I tried a lot of speakers in my life. If the speaker is very light, just throw it away. It will not produce any good sound. This one, very great build quality and a very good sound quality. And the next great feature from this Bluetooth speaker is the stereo compatibility. That means you get a second one and you have a proper 2.0 setup, which is, in my opinion, the absolute minimum when you watch a movie or play games. But last but not least, it's absolutely up to you if you like to spend the money for a Bluetooth speaker like this. But I have to be honest with you, they are not very cheap. Do me just a favor, if the plan is to buy new speakers, and it really doesn't matter which one, try to get the speakers at your place before you buy them, or have the option to send it back, because what I learned through my experience with buying speakers, you have to listen to the speakers at your place. There is no way that you can have the same experience in a big store. They will sound completely different when you put them in place, okay? Do me the favor and try this if you can. I think that's enough for this video. I hope you like it. Put in a comment section if you own one of those speakers or any other product from Gravastar, because I'm actually very interested in other products from this company as well, because this again is a very unique speaker and I think a very good present for my youngest.